Hello? Yeah, I got some more stuff to add to this story. Just to make it funner for me to make. Um, I'm gonna end this really soon because I got like 5 other ideas bouncing around in my head. This story wasn't planning to go on for too long. I was like, oh, maybe like 1 or 2 episodes. No, I'm on episode like 5 or 6. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this, but let's get right into it. Sandame Hokage, yada 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 about the Chunin exams. You all heard it in the normal anime or manga. And as I've told you guys before, I only watch the animes. I'm too lazy to read the mangas. So yeah. I fight first. I fight Yoroi like in canon, but he's about to charge at me. I just pull out the gun and say freeze. He knows exactly what it is because it looks like the guns that we have. I say freeze. I look directly in his eyes and say, do you give up? He goes, I can't do anything because it's pointed directly at my head. And I go, no. It's pointed for a kill shot. He goes, isn't that pointed at my head? Laz looks carefully. She goes, oh, it's pointed there. So he's like, oh, well, let me try. So he goes to the right. The gun was pointed at his neck, right where his neck meets his chest. So I just point it down like another millimeter and shoot him in the heart. So he's dead. Canon all the way up until Sakura versus Ino, because it's going to be Laz versus Ino. Ino in this timeline has a sealed gun on her left ring finger as a complete emergency. And most Anbu people have a sealed gun in their left ring finger. Some have it on their right ring finger. But most people do have it on their left. And Laz goes, no guns, no weapons, just taijutsu. So they do a taijutsu fight. Laz uses her a swift fist. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of a martial art secret. When you punch somebody, you hit him twice. But it looks like you only hit him once. You hit him twice. The initial contact and then the follow through. The initial contact is what leaves the bruise. The follow through is what can break the bones. So if you get slapped upside the head, that's just the initial contact. Now, if you get slapped upside the head, now that's initial contact plus follow through. So you can see the difference. But you're going to hear some stuff in the background because I got to do some stuff in the background while I'm walking around. Sorry about that. But yeah. That's a little secret about the martial arts world. There's always 2 strikes to every 1 hit. Or two hits to 1 strike. Whatever you want to call it. So, we go to the end. I snuck out and had Kakashi cover for me because, well, let's just be honest. I got stuff to make. I'm creating something that Laz doesn't know about. And also Laz is creating something that I don't know about. And we're creating the exact same thing for each other without actually telling each other we're creating the exact same thing. You'll see it later. Well, I'm creating two things for her because I feel like just the sword ain't, or just the chain blades ain't enough. So she is getting a sword and something else. You'll see that probably the end of this episode. So I snuck out, and Kakashi draws for both of us. And she is fighting... Who should she fight? Konkoro. She's fighting Konkoro. Dosu's fighting Shino. I'm fighting Gaara like in canon, and Naruto fight Kiba like in canon, and is now fighting Neji like in canon. So everybody's basically fighting canon except for Shino and Konkoro. And Dosu. But yeah. We go to after. I'm currently at home in like a side garage area. That's a very important hint. A side garage area. And you can hear wrench sounds, drill sounds. Yes, I made a drill. They're all chakra operated. Everything's chakra operated because of seals. And Itachi walks in and sees a tarped out area that says, "Don't enter or you get shocked." And yells over the loud banging and drill sounds that Laz is here. And I'm like, give me a minute, I'm almost done with this thing. And then bring her out back for the reveal. So he goes, okay. He gets in the house and sees that she's in some nice biker attire. Yes, she has biker attire. Jeans, leather jacket, white tank top, 2 helmets. One that looks like a flaming skull, and then one that looks like just a normal black biker helmet. And he doesn't know what she's wearing. He just knows that she looks good in it. And he goes, he'll be out in a minute. And he's just finishing something up. I don't know what it is. I've never seen it. There's a lot of weird sounds. And she goes, what kind of weird sounds? He goes, whirling, cranking. And she goes, no, he didn't. I walk in and be like, I got 3 things. One for both you and me and Naruto to use. Well, mainly for Naruto because I'm giving you something else. Here, pulls out a sword, puts it on the ground for her, puts it in the ground because we're outside now. That's your new sword. Use it. It's like the dark blade from Warframe. You know what all that is about. And you know, this is a really big coincidence. And she goes, what do you mean? He goes, can I see your helmet real quick? And she goes, yeah. She pulls up the black one. And he walks in. She just sees the top part of a helmet. And he fiddles with the inside of hers. And he goes, you know, you're a lot better with padding and all that crap. So, rips out the padding from her helmet. Rips out the padding from the helmet I made her. And puts her helmet's padding in the one I made her. And it shows like a spiky gold trim on it. I walk right up to her and go, you want to see the fallen angel? And she goes, the what? I send a pulse of chakra out, and all of a sudden the cloth just poofs out, and I said, the fallen angel. And I put my hand out, and it shows a beautiful bike. And she goes, "You didn't just make me a bike." And I go, "Yeah, I did. This bike goes up to 500 miles an hour, but it runs off your swift release to do that." And she goes, "Wow." So, Ghost Rider. And he goes, "You didn't make me a Ghost Rider bike, did you?" And she goes, "Yeah, I made you a Ghost Rider bike." There you go. That's what it looks like. And I go, "Seriously?" "Made each other motorcycles." And she goes, "What about the one for Naruto?" And I go, "It's the Foxmobile on the back." And she goes, "In the back?" I'm like, "Yeah." I stomp my foot on the ground. All of a sudden, it flips over like in Green Hornet. Yeah, it's just a giant, basically, doom buggy with fox motifs on it. On the front, it has a snarling fox head. On the back, it has like 9 swishing tails. That's where the exhaust pipes are. And at the base of the tails, it blows the tails around. And she goes, "You went into the fox motif a little too hard." I'm like, No, I didn't. That's the raging fox. You got me, Ghost Rider. I got you, Fallen Angel. And what are we gonna get, Kakashi? And she goes, "I kind of made him a scarecrow." I go, "You didn't make him a chopper, did you?" And she goes, "Yeah, I made him a chopper." So a chopper is a kind of bike. So what you see now is a barely not a chopper, if I remember correctly. This that you see on screen now is called a crotch rocket. I don't remember if this can be classified as a chopper, but you'll lean back in a chopper. You don't lean forward like in a crotch rocket. So have you seen motorcycle races? Those are crotch rockets. Choppers are cruiser bikes. And I go, "You didn't make him a scarecrow themed chopper, did you?" And she goes, "You know it." And I go, "God dang it. Why are we so in sync for making crap?" And she goes, I go, "Well, want to take it for a test drive?" And she goes, "Quick question." I go, "Yes." "Noise?" I go, "Mine, I made with swift release in mind, so it's electric, basically. No noise. Yours?" "Well, technically, my bike now." She goes, "Jet." I go, "Oh, God. It gonna be loud." "Straight piped or muffled?" And she goes, "Muffled, obviously." I go, "Yes." I can actually drive in Konoha. And Itachi's just like, "I don't understand a single word they're saying." I look directly at Itachi and say, "I gave you some guns. They're in the back." And he goes in the back and sees 2 single shot rifles. I say, "Okay, the furthest one from you, I think, from where you are, is called Big Bertha. It is a single shot rifle. It is meant for bunker busting." He goes, "What's bunker busting?" I go, "You know those walls that the first Hokage can summon?" He goes, "Yeah, the Rashomon gates." I go, "It can go through all those." He looks at me like I'm insane. I go, Don't give me that crap. It's all that it is speed. All it needs is speed and a little bit of weight behind it, but speed." And he goes, "In this one, I go, yeah. uh, and she goes, what did you do now? I go, I made a bandit rifle from Borderlands. And she goes, which one? I go, Sawbar. And she goes, oh, God. And she goes, it goes for a certain distance, and then it breaks up into 3 fireballs rounds. And I'm guessing you couldn't get a drum mag. And he goes, oh, no, I do have the drum mag. It's just I don't have the feeding system done right. So it's bolt action now. I also made him a skull masher, but he doesn't get that one yet. And Itachi's eyes just twitching from how much language he just doesn't understand from us talking. So we skip 30 days. Everybody knows about the new vehicles. But they don't know is what myself and Laz could do with the vehicles. So there's a manga or manhwa out there where the kid is super strong from birth, and he is what's called an underground player because he can't fly because all the other players have wings. And finally gets his tail so I can get into ant nests, which are underground dungeons instead of floating dungeons. Sorry, I freshly mowed this grass like a day or two ago, and it's still bothering me a little. But he gains the bike that allows him to fly. That's why it's called Fallen Angel. Now, if you guys seen the Johnny Cage or Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider movie, that's what my bike can do. The Raging Fox sounds like a snarling animal when it's revved up, but it can't do anything cool. It just sounds like a snarling animal and it's fast as hell. It gives KCM 2 Chroma Chakra Cloak, or Chroma Mode Cloak, or whatever you want to call it. KCM 2, a run for its money in speed department. So yeah, and it can go even faster with Kurama's chakra. That's it. And then the Scarecrow Chopper, if used with Kakashi's chakra in mind, it sends out a gas that's like Scarecrow's gas, or the fear or gas from Batman. So yeah. So they call in Laz into the stadium, and all they see is just this black dot flying down from the sky, and just see her skidding in midair with her swift release and hopping off her bike. Her bike falls to the ground, and she grabs a wheel and poofs it into a storage scroll from there. And they just hear the revving. That sounds like a scream from somewhere. And I used my bike to ride over the stadium, leaving a trail of fire. This is illusionary fire, not actually real fire like in the movie. Not real fire. I can use real fire if I wanted to, but I didn't. So I just rode down the wall of the stadium and got off. Took off my helmet, looking cool as hell. Took off the chain, because yes, you have to wear the chain while riding. It's kind of a aesthetic thing. So I took off the chain, put it on the bike, sealed everything up, and started standing there. And Naruto's just staring at us, eye twitching, and he goes, I don't know how to drive mine yet. And I go, I kind of made mine. And she goes, I kind of made my own too. So we kind of know how to drive it. And he goes, you guys haven't taught me how to drive mine. So, And Kakashi walks in, be like, I had an S-rank mission over the break. S-rank assassination. It was so much easier with that bike. I'm like, yeah. I look directly at Laz and go, show him what it is. And she goes, okay. So, Naruto wins, obviously. Neji has nothing on Naruto. My match was moved to the end because the Kazekage and Hokage think ours is going to be the biggest and flashiest. I'm like, it ain't going to be the biggest. It ain't going to be the flashiest. And Laz is like, what do you mean? I go, I have a Chakra Void rubber bullet for Shikaku Sand Armor. And then I have a 5-element and Sealing Bullet prepped for Gaara's little tenant. So... And plus, if I have to, I could put him under a Genjutsu to calm the frick down. So, you think I'm weak against Jinchurikis? And she goes, no. Yes, the Kazekage is still alive because I took Orochimaru out before the Kazekage died. The Kazekage got nothing from Orochimaru, so he called off the invasion. But Orochimaru's troops didn't because of Kabuto. If I remember correctly, I didn't kill him off. Hopefully I didn't kill him off. No. He broke out of prison. He broke out of prison. Yeah, he broke out of prison. So he's taking over Orochimaru's Goonies. And we go like 10, 20 minutes into the stuff. We go to mine. Laz completely obliterates the puppet. Dosu, he died, so Shino's moving on. Shikamaru, he was about to forfeit, so he put a gun to the back of his head and said, I'll give her a pan that hits 5 times harder. And he goes, you do that, you're dead. And I just cocked the hammer back on the thorn. And he goes, I'll do it. Don't put your panties on wide. Damn troublesome bastard. I go, I'd rather be troublesome than lazy. And slam him in the back. And I mumble under my breath, I was lazy my last life. I ain't gonna be lazy this one. Otherwise, I'm gonna die. Only Laz heard that and starts snickering. I look at her hurt and betrayed, and she goes, what? It's funny. I go, I know it's funny. But you don't have to keep laughing at me for it. And they just, fair. I'm still going to do it anyway. And I go, nah. So they fought like in canon. Invasion starts. Suna backed out, so it's only Odo that continues. They mainly did this so they can get Orochimaru back. They got Orochimaru back. But they need a sealing expert. And the only other expert besides Hiruzen and Jiraiya is Tsunade. Well, and me, because obviously me. So I went to Tsunade to see if they could get her to help dispel this Funjutsu. Hikaru's like, I'm too old for this crap. Go get Tsunade, because I'm passing this on. And Naruto isn't old enough. Jiraiya just doesn't care about the job. I look directly at the Sandam and go, there's only one way to get her back in the village. And he goes, and what is that? I look directly at Naruto and say, family. And Naruto's just confused, and I go, you know, it'd be so much easier if everybody knew about the Uzumaki clan. Oh, wait. They used to. What happened? Oh, yeah. Civilian Council. And Naruto's like, wait. I thought I heard something about the Uzumaki clan. And he goes, if you fucking forgot that I told you all about the Uzumaki clan one day, flashback. This was a day during the a break of the Chunin exams. I found Naruto and I gave him the keys. I'm like, I got a few things to tell you. And I told him all about the Uzumaki clan and their history with Konoha. And he goes, huh. I feel betrayed. I go, you deserve to. I walk out. But we go back to present time. I look directly at Naruto and say, on this trip, I will teach you how to drive. And Hiruzen doesn't know about the vehicles yet. Or doesn't know about the Raging Fox yet. And goes, you're going to teach him how to ride one of your motorcycles? And I go, oh, hell no. You think I'm that stupid? Nah, he's learning how to drive his own car. He goes, what's a car? And I go, multiple seats, 4 wheels, drives like a motorcycle, but has better handling. And Hiruzen's like, okay, what does it look like? I go, check out front. I drove it here. And he looked outside the Hokage Tower and sees multiple civilians trying to rip it apart and sees them constantly getting shocked and a voice constantly telling them in a snarling, angry voice. I'm like, oh yeah, I made an AI for the car. And I'm like, what? It's an AI. Artificial intelligence. Yeah. It's a grumpy AI. The only one it's nice to is Naruto and his descendants. Oh, and his parents. And Hiruzen's like, who are his parents? I'm like, you tell him or I tell him. He goes, fine. Naruto, your parents are for the 4th Hokage and Kushina Uzumaki. He goes, I know. And I look directly at Naruto and go, those intelligence lessons have been doing work, haven't they? He goes, I really hate those lessons. I go, yep. They've been doing work. So we go to Tsunade. We get there to Tsunade. Naruto only crashed like twice into trees and had auto repair with seals and other seal functions that help him learn. I go, okay. Now that that's done, if you talk to Kurama, he will give you some chakra to try out the QB mode. He goes, the QB mode? And I go, yeah. I have the signature for Kurama locked in the car, so anybody who has Kurama's chakra can feed it into the car and make it go 10 times faster. And he goes, why? I go, hey, speed is key. And I get slapped in the back of the head because Laz remembers that from Jacksepticeye. And yeah, Jack. And she goes, no, bad. I'm like, but swift release. So she goes, fine. I agree with that. Speed is key. I go, argument 1. And so we talked to Tsunade. Same bet as in canon. Because I had Naruto act like he didn't know it. Very next day, we walk into the hotel room where Tsunade is. She's getting over a hangover. And I go, remember that bet you made? And she goes, yeah. And I go, show her. And he goes, okay. Makes the perfect Rasengan and hand it over. And you're coming back with us. And she goes, oh, damn it. So she hands over the necklace and the and comes back with them. Orochimaru comes back in a week and just waiting there. And Kabuto goes, oh yeah, she's gone. I just checked the entire village. She's gone. And he goes, damn it. He still doesn't have his arms, mind you. So he needs to change bodies, see if that works. Quick newsflash, it won't. Because he's stuck in that body. So he's stuck in a rotting corpse. I love messing with Orochimaru. So on the thing, Kisame, Hoshigaki, and I'm going to have to say Raiga. Kisame and Raiga come after us. I look directly at Laz and go, you get Raiga, I get Kisame? And she goes, yeah, sure. I look directly at Kisame, see Samehada, and go, you know Samehada's screaming, right? And he goes, no, she isn't. I'm like, yeah, she is. I walk right up to Samehada and touch Samehada's scales in a specific way because he can't lift Samehada anymore. Samehada is just like, no, I ain't fighting this kid. I touch Samehada and go, it's okay. You can give off your true form now. Samehada goes from this giant club-looking thing with shark scales to this singular blade made out of shark teeth. And I go, that's the true Samehada. And Kisame is like, what the hell did you do? I'm like, well, first off, I comforted Samehada from its last user for dying, which you never did. And I inserted a little bit of my chakra to feed her. And the origin of Samehada is from the twin brothers of Hagoromo Otsutsuki. Mainly Indra Otsutsuki, the leader or the founder of the Uchiha clan, in this world at least. It originates from me, who's the reincarnation Indra. And I look directly at him and go, I made Samehada as a partner. Not a weapon or tool to use, but a partner. I grab the blade of Samehada, and it shifts around. And I go, let's show him the true shark skin blade. And I get encompassed by this like thin gray matte crap all over me. And I go, oh, there we go. And I put my hand into like a blade pattern, and this spike shoots out from where my hand would be. I look at Kisame and go, this is the shark skin blade. And I immediately shred Kisame with Samehada. And I pull out Young Wolf's Howl and the axe. And Samehada absorbs them. Yeah, Samehada absorbs them. So, Samehada now has fire abilities. So it's not just a shark skin blade. It is a shark's hide blade now. And you'll understand that in a minute or two. Or, actually, I'm going to end it this episode. I'm going to say final part on this one. Yeah. I'm going to go through the story real quickly. Sorry about that. But we're back at Konoha. Gaara's still there unconscious in the hospital. I walk into the hospital. I go, can I finally seal it? Is the bullet finally wearing off? And they're like, what do you mean the bullet finally wearing off? I'm like, All the bullets I hit him with were rubber. That means they're not very good at seal holding. Now, if I used the metal ones, they would have been able to stay forever. But they're rubber, so they can't. So I need to place a better seal on top of the original seal and crack the original seal so the better seal can grasp Shukaku instead of the original seal. Does that make sense? They're like, no, just do it. I'm like, okay. So I make adjustments to the original seal to crack in 10 minutes. I make the better seal, and it layers on top. It's the 8 trigram seal on top of 1 trigram seal with a berserker seal on top. So yeah, I cracked the bottom seal. The 8 trigram seal, well, clamps down on the bottom seal, which is completely removed, by the way. Shukaku now has a place where he can go to sleep, and all 3 souls are now ripped apart from Shukaku. Shukaku's the desert monk, forget his name, the crazy one that was in Shukaku's soul. Then there's Gaara's mother. I forget her name. And then there's one other. And I feel that presence in the seal, and I immediately go and pull that presence out and look at it and go, you can go away. I shatter the presence. And the Ghetto Mazo statue, all the way in the other side of the Elemental Nations, and AIM starts screaming in pain. And one of its eyes explode. Hagoromo, who's currently watching over everybody, sees what I just did and is like, what the hell? Kaguya, who's in the moon, feels her connection to the 10 Tails weaken. And part of her soul shatter. Yeah. So I go, that was a weird presence. I have to check the QB in a minute or two. So I tell them they're good to go, and I walk out. Later that day, I walk over to Naruto's new accommodations, which is his birth house. And I say, can I check on the QB real quick? And he goes, sure. So I walk in and I go, hey, little bro, I need to try something. And he goes, okay, what? I go, I need to try an extraction thing on you. And he goes, please tell me you're not trying to take in some of my chakra. And I go, oh, no. I just messed with Shukaku's seal, and I found 3 presences in him. One I understand because it made him go crazy. Another one I understand because they accidentally sealed her inside of Shukaku. When they sealed Shukaku inside of Gaara. I understand that. But the third one is part of someone's soul. It's not their complete soul. I need to check something. And he goes, okay, you can come in. So I come in and check with my Susanoo, because my Susanoo has that ability. With time and crap. And I go, I know whose old fragment that was now. I rip it out of Kurama. He winces in pain a little. I go, say hello to Granny. And Kurama's eyes widen, knowing exactly who I'm talking about. And I go, yeah. Hello. Shatters it. I go, yeah. Now the 10 Tails can't be revived. And he goes, what do you mean? And I go, well, her soul was what was keeping the 10 Tails sealed. And the 10 Tails being sealed means that it's connected to you, Gyuki, Chome, Icy no. I don't remember all your names. I'm sorry. But you being sealed and them being sealed connected to the 10 tails, so yeah. They are the only ones connected to the 10 tails, and the 10 tails can't be revived anymore because the only connection to you and the other Biju was your grandmother, or Granny Kaguya. So now you guys are now not connected to each other, so you guys can't claim biological sibling, claim that you're biological siblings, but you can claim you're still siblings. And he didn't understand a single fucking word I just said. And he goes, so what does this mean? I go, 1 and 9 aren't part of 10. He goes, so does that mean the rest can make 10? I go, no. To get 10, you must add 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the way up to 9 into the statue. But now the statue can't hold 1 or 9. So guess what? 10 Tails is forever stuck as the Ghetto Mazo. And he goes, huh. Oh, actually, let me rephrase that. It will reform the eyeballs to absorb you guys after Kaguya dies. He goes, that doesn't make me feel any better. And I go, the seal that old Pops Hagoromo gave her gives her immortality. So what's keeping her from reviving is what needs to kill her to revive her. So she's stuck forever. Zetsu gets called by Kaguya in the seal, being like, something happened to my connection to 1 and 9. And he goes, I'll check into it. So they spend good 5-6 years looking for 1, because Zetsu can't find 1 anymore. He doesn't think Gaara has it anymore because I basically faked his death and brought him back with the jutsu, and yeah. Gaara died and Shikaku's now free. But the 8 trigrams is actually hiding Shikaku perfectly. So they're fooled. And they still think they need 1, but they can't even get to it. 1 and 9's eyeballs have blew up, and the bleeding stopped, but the eyeballs are still gone. So they can't seal them anymore, and yeah. So the shinobi world is safe. Naruto falls in love with Hinata after 10 years, and the moon thing doesn't happen because right when he comes into Konoha, I shoot him in the head and he's dead. I go, no freeing Kaguya. So I go on an adventure and Laz comes with me. Later on, Laz and I hook up, and yeah, that's the end. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I got like 10 different ideas in my head, so I need to get going on these ideas. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed so far. I have Returner Deku coming, where he goes in the past with cultivation and all that, and then comes back forward, and everybody has their own cultivation, and they're born with different bases after an overflow of heavenly energy in the world. Yeah, cultivators were keeping the heavenly energy stable, and now it's overflowing, and the world is going out of whack. The one who has the most heavenly energy is all for one and one for all. And we get Izuku. So that's the next one I'm planning on doing, and then either what if Naruto was an Atronox, or what if Deku was a Atronox, where Naruto is born like Alex from Magnus Chase in the Sword of Summer book. Yes, Alex. Or Alexis if you want to call her that. But yeah, gender fluid. Literally. Could be a girl one day and then a male the next. yeah, whichever one you want me to do, vote in the comments, Naruto or Deku for that one. But the next one's going to be Deku, and I'm going to get that one out probably Monday. I mean tomorrow, because it's coming out the day after I record. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry for ending this really quickly, but I need to get to the Returner Deku before I forget about it, because it's one that I really want to do. And yeah, talk to you later. Bye.